Welcome. In this video, we're going through the Schedule C, and this is to help people who self-employed or have small business income for their return. The first part of the Schedule C is the taxpayer's name and social security number. Line A is the principal business or profession, including products or service, if any. And right across from it, all the way to the right is B, is the code. We have codes, which is 6 digits that we use to identify certain industries in this country that we live in. And so the 6-digit code will correlate to the type of business you're doing or something similar to that if it's not an exact match. Line C is business name. If you don't have a business name, then you'll leave it blank. Line E is the address. If it's different than where you actually live at, say if you working from home, then it'll be the same as your home address. But if you have a commercial location, then it'll be the commercial location address. Line F, the county method. A lot of people use cash-based method because you have a lot of cash-based businesses. Myself, I use a Curo method because it's a different advantage to use a Curo method based other than cash-based method. So I like the Curo method better, because the difference between cash-based and the Curo method is cash-based businesses strictly only can count cash as they receive it in their hand. A Curo-based method is I can count income that I made based on providing service, even though I haven't received the money yet. And so that's the difference when cash-based versus a Curo method, is that I can write off expenses even though I haven't actually paid them yet. Cash-based method, you can only write off what you actually spent money on when it comes to the expenses you have concerning your business. And so those are the distinct difference between cash-based versus a Curo method. Then line G, did you materially participate in the operation of the business? That's an important question. So for people who self-employed or small business owners, they check yes, because they must materially participate in the business they're in to be able to get the full deductions and expenses that come with operating a business. Line H, if you started or acquired this business during 2018, check here. That's basically for people who simply got started, who knew for 2018. That's what that's all about. Line I, did you make any payments in 2018 that will be required if you file Form 1099? And that's for businesses who paid out to independent contractors for work they might have done concerning different tasks that might have been needed inside their business. Say, for instance, you had a plumber come out, or a carpenter come out, or electrician come out. Those are business-to-business type transactions. So you would give them a 1099 during the end of the year for the money that you paid them. For the money you paid them for the service they provided to you, because that's income to them. And then we go into part 1, income. Line 1 is gross receipts. So say, for instance, you're a barber and you've generated $29,000 for the year. That's gross receipts. We're going line 1. Line 2, returns and allowance. Returns and allowance only apply to people who basically really deal with physical products. So for people who would retail, they would have they'll have a dollar amount on that line for the most part. And then you'll subtract 1 from 2, and 3 will be your results for the cost of goods sold. This for people, like I said, in retail who have inventory. So back of the form you would go to, and this is the part you would deal with here, cost of goods sold. For people who have inventory that they want to acknowledge, they will go here and calculate how that works and bring the difference and bring that back to line 4. Then 5 will be profits. Subtract 4 from 3 will be the net gross profits. Then 6 is other income, and 7 will be the total income altogether. So in this here, we go to part 2, expenses. So based on what type of industry you're in, you look at these, you look at part 2 for the expenses, and if you don't have anything that actually line up with the expenses you have, then you go here to this section, other expenses, and you put down the exact expenses that you incurred in that year and put the total for the year right here, and that total amount will go right here on line 27 once you finish. And so that's how that works. So a lot of times for barbers and nail techs and beauticians, they don't have any expenses that exactly match here, so we have them put them in the other expense column so they can be specific on what expenses they incurred inside their business. Also, like I said, for advertisement, so business cards, flyers, those considered advertisement, radio spots, TV spots, a podcast that you're using for business that you pay for would be considered advertisement. So cars and trucks. So if you have a car or a truck you use for your business exclusively, you can use that. Also, like I say, based on what type of industry you're in, some of these line category, some of these expenses won't apply to you. So you can just basically just go through them and see what apply to you and keep it moving. So like I say, if you rent out an office space, say if you an accountant, and so you have an office space, then you have office expenses, you can put on line 18. You renting, so you hit rent expense for line 20A. Repairs and maintenance, of something went wrong inside your business that you had to pay for, that the landlord would not reimburse you, then you write that off on 21. Taxes and licensing, so the tax and license you had to get to be able to do business in the city or state you live in, you can go put that right here. Travel and meals, basically, if you're, like I said, based on what type of work you do, if you're meeting clients and you having a business meeting over a meal, you can write 50% of that off. Utilities, so if you're paying light and gas for the commercial location, you get to put that on line 25. Wages, so if you have any employees, then they'll go right here on line 26. And like I say, other expenses were the totals that we got from back here that we came up with, which went on line 27. And so from there, we basically, like I said, if you're using your vehicle, we'll go to this section and put in this information, fill out this information in order to use the vehicle for the business. And then once we finish with filling out the Schedule C, the results will carry over for you if you're using software to the 1040 line 12 of the 2017 form. With the new form coming out, which is going to change things, we'll do a video on that once they come out with the new form for 2018. Right now, last time I checked, they still had the rough draft version. They don't have the complete version yet. And so until they had a complete version of the 2018 form, I won't cover that until then. And so basically, this is how you will go through the Schedule C for self-employed and small business owners who are not incorporated. So for people who are not incorporated, they use Schedule C. For people who are incorporated, you'll use either 1120 for corporations, 1120S for S corporations, or partnerships, 1065 forms. You know, so anybody who's not incorporated their business yet, they're still using the Schedule C until they decide to incorporate. So that's basically how this works when it comes to this Schedule C form here. And anything you're not clear about, just leave me some comments in the section of the YouTube channel, and I'll get back to you at my early convenience. And I'll talk to you later.